the youth, if they register well, I think they are heading for a great future. Over to you, Abhi.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for those kind words. I've always said, as oxygen is to living, communication is to relationships, right? And we think this is very simple. We think which is very obvious, but the obvious is not always done. Common sense is not always common practice, right? So it's very important to reach out to the other person and share. Okay, if there is some miscommunication, if there is an issue of alignment, the only way to solve that issue of alignment is take the initiative to do something about it. Yeah, so let me share my screen, and so I'm not sure whether I have shared this with you before. Are you able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen?
Not yet, not
No,
yet.
sir.
No, sir.
No? Are you able to see it now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So building upon what Patel Sahab just said, what is this? Which
Again,
alphabet?
screen is not visible, sir.
Screen is not visible.
It's a cross.
Okay, so what alphabet is this?
X.
X.
Okay, so if you take X and if I take one line of this X, and this is high, this is low. If I take the other line, and again, if this is high, this is low, the first line is the line of initiative. And the second line is the line of alignment. So if you are in a relationship, it could be with your parents, it could be with friends, it could be with anyone. Ideally, we would be high on alignment and high on initiative, but that does not remain most of the time, right? So if we are here, think of a relationship where you are at this level, high on alignment and high on initiative. You are at a what is called a generative team, right? And think of those people that you block on WhatsApp. I'm sure many youngsters on this call would have blocked someone on WhatsApp. Why did you block that friend? He or she was a good friend not long back, but today you neither talk to him or her, nor you want to have any message exchange. So what has happened is you are low on initiative and you are low on alignment, and you become degenerative, right? So the idea is to stay on this part of that X. So this could be the V, proper V, and this could be the inverted V. So if you want to ensure that there is as little gap between perceptions and reality, it is important that I take the initiative to communicate and get the alignment back as what it should be. So there are 5 different levels here, right? So this is the worst level. This is level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Level 5 is an ideal level to be as far as relationships are concerned. But then we keep on oscillating between these 5 levels, right? So think of your friends, think of people that you are in relationship, and if the health of that relationship is there, you are both taking the initiative and the alignment to ensure that the communication happens. And as and when things start, when you start communicating about things where there is different of perceptions, I think slightly differently on a particular issue, you think slightly differently on a particular issue, and we are not able to agree to disagree together. What happens is from that high level of initiative, high level of alignment, you come down, and then we stop talking, and then the relationship keeps on going down, 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 and it comes to this last level, right? So this is called the X theory in interpersonal relationships. So maybe some other time I will talk about this, right? So
Anand,
very, yep.
does alignment mean understanding?
No, While alignment will have understanding as a subset, but alignment is far bigger than understanding. So we are aligned together. So let me show you one picture. If because you spoke about the word alignment, you may have seen this in one of my presentations, or you may not have seen it. I'm not sure, but nevertheless, let me show this to you. Where is, okay, so are you able to see image on your
Yes,
screen?
yes.
What comes to your mind when you see this image?
Bad planning.
That okay, some other words?
Sir, I think
Anyone else? What is the word that comes to your mind when you see this image?
Misalignment.
Absolutely, right? So what is the problem? The alignment is a problem, right? So alignment is the four tires of a vehicle are at the same angle, and when a vehicle is aligned properly, it will have less wear and tear. It will give you better mileage, and it is so very important that we remain aligned in that relationship or whatever we are doing, right? So alignment is a great word, but nowadays, we say, who cares? You go your way, I go my way. Tu nahi to koi aur sahi. Right? So that is hurting relationships big time, and that is not the attitude that we should be having. Right? So on that count, let me give you a one-liner. Patel Sahab has been talking about one-liners that I keep on talking. Right? So um, ready to write down a one-liner?
Yes.
Yeah. So write down this. People are not difficult, they are different. And this sentence should solve a lot of relationships issues in case you have one. Yeah, so what did I say?
People are not difficult, they are different.
Correct. Right? So I hope you understand. Right? So what happens is I would want the other person to think like me, behave like me, eat like me, talk like me, walk like me. Right? He or she is not your clone. God has created that person uniquely. He or she has been wired very differently, and we don't understand that, and then all the problem starts, right? So that is where ego comes in, right? So yeah, anyways, right? So that was building up on what Patel have said, right? So we are about 20 of us on the call. Each one of you, thank you for taking an uncommon decision to come and attend a session that hopefully will help you not in your today, but definitely in the tomorrows to come in both your personal and your professional life. We are talking about a personal brand. We are talking about the importance of brand, right? And for those of you who have been in this series, I'm sure you would have benefited a lot in terms of the take one step further. Just don't be hearers of what I'm saying, but also take one step further and become doers of the thoughts that I'm sharing. So when you start doing, it becomes that much more beneficial. While knowledge is great, applied knowledge is far more powerful, right? So we were talking about why, and did we cover this point last time? I'm not sure if one of you was there last time. Could you please, why did we cover the why part of the personal brand?
Couple of more, one more slide, and then maybe in the end I was there. I can.
And I deliberately have the animation slightly
Sir,
opposite.
Maybe you have
we
started
are
what?
about to what?
We were about to start at what? Okay.
No,
So let
we
me,
had done so much on what. That last was Rolling Stone never gather
Mass.
Mass.
or we leave more. What you should stand for and become become a brand. यहाँ तक हुआ
Correct,
था इसमें
correct,
कुछ
correct. Okay, koi baat nahi. Good. Thank you for that update. Right. So let's step further and talk about the 7 steps of building a brand. So we would have covered the need for significance, where we saw the story of those twin sisters, and we have also seen the what of a brand, and we have also seen the why of a brand. And remember these 2 sentences, that a brand is a promise, very important statement. Second is, it is an expectation of an experience. And then we are talking all these things because we would want people to hire us, we would want people to promote us, we would want people to recommend us, people to have a relationship with us, right? And help us move to the next level in our personal and in our professional life. Hence, we are talking about these concepts, right? So there are 7 steps to build a particular brand. And then towards the end of this series, I will talk about the laws of personal brand. And it will take us about maybe 3 or 4 sessions more, maybe 3 sessions more before we complete this series, right? So I hope I'll complete this series in the year 2020, and from 2021 maybe start. What do you think could be some steps that I and you take to build our personal brand? What could be the first of the... So someone is saying no volume, don't know why. Okay, so am I audible to most of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
think it is value. Value first.
Very nice. That's a good answer. That's a very good answer.
Personality.
What could be the steps? Sorry,
Personality, sir.
what? So that's a good answer, but what do we mean by personality? It is
Anand,
definitely not the way you look. Yeah.
no, please carry on.
Okay, so it is definitely not the way you look.
Sir, it is the intersection of perception and reality.
Very nice. That's a good word. So I'm so happy that you were writing notes, because that's a point that we covered in our previous sessions, right? So that is the what of a personal brand. Now we are moving one step further, and we are trying to understand the steps that will help us build a personal brand. The first of the 7 step is believe in yourself. Because I just love one statement which says, if I don't believe in myself, no one else is going to. We'll talk more about this. So any guesses what could be step number 2 in that 7-step process? Make it interactive. Don't just be passively listening, because when you speak, you learn more.
Act on what you believe.
Very important. Otherwise, this whole thing is going to be futile. That's a wonderful answer. And while we know a lot of things, we do not do everything that we know. Yeah, so it requires a huge amount of discipline to do what you just said. Absolutely, but that's a good answer. So first is believe in yourself. Second point that we would want to cover is discover yourself. Yeah. So let me. I'll come to believe in yourself maybe slightly later. But let me talk about discover yourself. Any thoughts on how do you discover yourself?
The Johari window part?
That's a good answer, sir. Yes. How many of you remember the Johari window? For those who may not have attended that session, So Johari window has 4 quadrants to it. So quadrant 1 is called the open quadrant. Open quadrant will have things which I know about myself and others know about myself. So I also know and you also know those things about me. That is open quadrant. Quadrant 2 in the Johari window is called the blind spot. Blind spot is things that you know about me, but I do not know about myself. So I may have a few talents, I may have few capabilities, but I'm never aware of that, right? But someone else knows it, and then if we have that relationship, that person will come and tell me that, Anand, what you're doing is good, but you could do far more than what you're just doing. Right? So that is quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 is called the hidden quadrant, where I know a few things about me, but the people that I work with, they do not know about me. So I will have to disclose a few things about me so that I can have a larger open window. I will have to take feedback from people that I work with, live with, have relationship with, to reduce the blind spot and open the and have a bigger open window. And the last quadrant is what I call the quadrant of potential, where I also do not know what I can do, and people that I work with, they also do not know what I possibly can do. So we do a shared discovery here, right? So we take risk, we do the new, right? And many times when we do the new, we stumble upon things that we never thought is possible. So this is the Johari window, maybe some other time, and that is a good way of discovering yourself. So let's go deep into this, and I would want you to make notes about it, right? So, and these are all questions pertaining to you, right? So this is from me to you, so, right? So don't think about anyone else, but only think about you as a person, right? So think about this question. This is under the point of yearning. Don't forget about what yearning is, all that, right? So maybe at a later date and time, but think about this question. What kind of activities are you naturally drawn to? So I can talk about, let's say, Prakriti on the call. She, to the best that I know her, is a person who is drawn to, let us say, speaking. She's drawn to, let us say, writing. So those are activities that she's naturally drawn towards. I'm just taking an example. Think about what are the activities that you are drawn towards, or you get attracted to, and you would want to do more of it. So I'll give you about 30 seconds, and I would request each one of you on the call to at least write 3 or 4 or 5 activities that you are naturally drawn towards. So take about 30 seconds to write it. Yep, so 30 seconds on the clock. I am sure some of you would have written it, right? Whatever it is, right? So you may share it with me, you may not share it with me, that is absolutely fine. But those who are sharing, thank you for sharing that, right? So general knowledge is not an activity that you are drawn towards. Cricket is not an activity cricket is a game. Right? So you'll have to make it more specific in terms of what in cricket are you drawn towards. There are so many things that you could be drawn towards. It could be watching the game. It could be playing the game. It could be commentating on the game. It could be writing on the game. It could be many things. It could be a million things about that game. So be more specific in your answers. Do not be giving answers which are general statements. Right? So for example, studying is a very general statement. I like studying. Studying what? Why? right? So I would want you to go deep into it. So just don't write subjective statements, write objective statements. Just don't be qualitative in your answers, but try to be quantifiable in your answers. The advantage of writing a quantifiable statement, the advantage of writing a objective statement is no matter who reads it, the interpretation of that statement is pretty much the same. And hence you are reducing the gap between your intent and the perception someone may have about you, right? So it's a skill that we need to develop, and so that was the first
Sir,
question. Let's look at
breathing, sir.
pardon.
Breathing.
You do it consciously or does it happen automatically?
Naturally.
So this is not that naturally, right? So what are those activities that you are naturally drawn? You don't think, oh, now it is time to breathe. I hope that is not the case with you, right? So it is activities, right? So what are the activities? For example, one of the activities that I'm naturally drawn towards is empowering the youth. So if I get a chance to speak to a group of youth, I would be more than happy, and my energy would be at a different level, because those are things that come very naturally to me, and I get attracted to those opportunities where I get to do what I like to do, because I think and I believe that all of you, especially the younger population on the crowd, have tremendous potential, no doubt about it. You have got huge resources at your fingertips, but you need to be resourceful. You need to be disciplined to be able to reach to your maximum potential, right? So that's an activity that I would naturally be drawn towards, right? So think about what are the activities that you are naturally drawn towards. Let's look at the second question. What kind of activities do you seem to pick up faster than others, quicker than others, and it just flows, it just comes very naturally to you? What are those activities? Again, now, Kirti madam, what you have written is a good statement, but it is not a specific statement. So you'll have to make it very specific. So this is a subjective statement. Make it an objective statement.
Yes, sir.
Okay, someone writes that fielding in cricket is something that comes naturally to me. So do you want to become a fielder in cricket? So you may want to be known as maybe the best fielder the world has seen, as maybe a Jonty Rhodes. We don't remember Jonty Rhodes for his batting, but we remember him for his fielding. I hope you know Jonty Rhodes from South Africa. There was a cricketer from India called Mohammad Kaif. Mohammad Kaif was one of the best fielders that India has seen. And we don't remember much about his batting exploits, but we remember him for his fielding. And so think about it. What are those activities? And ultimately, all that we are writing here, thinking here, is going to build a brand, and that brand is going to help us get a job, help us create an economic value for ourselves. So remember, that is the ultimate objective, creating an economic value for ourselves. We are not doing this activity from a hobby point of view. We are learning what we are learning. I'm giving you my time. You are investing your time for one common objective. Learning all these things, applying and implementing all these things helps you grow in your profession, and creates economic value for yourself, so that you can support your family and have, a life that you have always dreamt for. Right? So that's the end objective, right? So like Stephen Covey says in the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, habit number 2 is begin with the end in mind. So what is the end that I have in mind? Okay, so what kind of activities do you seem to pick up very naturally? Again, this is again a very subjective statement. I want to big money. What is big money? So
I can't able to write properly. I didn't going to get the exact word.
That's okay. That's okay. So if you have that in your mind, that's fine, because I want to make a lot of money. I want to make big money. That's a very subjective word. So you'll have to give a number there. You will have to be specific there, right? So for
Yes.
example,
Yeah.
I want to make. Let us say, take any figure. I want to make 1 lakh rupees a month. I'm just giving an example. Right. So how do I reach there? What is my current income? What is, okay, let me ask you this. What is income? What is the definition of income? What is the formula for income, or what is a equation of income? A better word is equation. What is the equation of income?
What we can say ki the physical as well as mental inputs plus time we put together, and what we received for that efforts and thinking and time, that in a monetary benefit and matlab form of money, that we can call income.
Good. So I take one element, time and effort is always required. So we get one part of that equation of income. So something into time gives me my income.
Effort into time.
Okay, so you never get paid for effort, Prakriti. You get paid for results. Remember this. This sentence is going to help you for the rest of your
Right.
life.
This is
I
very
cannot
good.
go to my boss and say, boss, मैंने बहुत कोशिश करी, मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा कोशिश करी. They will say, result का है. So you are paid for results, not efforts. Never confuse activities with accomplishments. You may want to write that down as a one-liner.
Yeah, I'm actually writing it.
Very good, right? So, okay, 10 more seconds. Tell me what is here.
Sir, skill.
Skill is there, yes. So without skill, you will be killed. And if you want to have one more one-liner, you can write it down. Skills pay bills.
Anand is on fire today.
Maybe Patels have started it. Yeah, so yeah, one-liners are just flowing. So skills pay bills is something that you may want to write it down. Okay, so income is rate into time. Right? So can you increase 24 hours? Can you work more than 24 hours a day?
No, sir.
Yes or no?
No, sir.
No.
Right? So let us say I am a professional and I charge something. Let's say my charge is 100 rupees an hour. You go to professionals and they charge you money per visit. If you go to a advocate or hire someone for whatever services, they will say, I'll charge this much per hour. Yes. So you may have heard about it. Yes. So let us say I charge 100 rupees per hour and I can work 24 hours a day. So what is the maximum earning potential I have? 2,400 rupees a day. Did you understand this?
Yes.
Now coming back to what Kirti madam said, I want to increase my income. So what is the way to increase your income?
Increase the rate.
Why would someone pay you more money?
For my extra matlab talent and skills. No. Then
No, they will pay you
Because
money if you create value.
yes.
Remember, and someone was talking about cricket, right? In a game of cricket, 11 players play the game and the match. Not all of them are paid the same. A Virat Kohli will be paid more than a Chahal. or a Manish Pandey. A Manish Pandey is equally brilliant in batting as Virat Kohli. But what is the value that you bring on table? So if I want to increase my rate, I need to increase the value that I bring. To increase my value, I need to work very, 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 very hard. And I need to be trained in that particular domain. I need to learn. If I want to earn, I need to learn. And I'm sure you would have seen that ad of Virat Kohli, where he says, "ये जिंदगी का दस्तूर है, जो सीखता है वही आगे बढ़ता है." Right? It was just an amazing sentence. It has stuck into my head, and something I have always spoken about, but no one listens to me. So who is Anand talking about this? But let's say if the same word is coming from someone like a Virat Kohli, it has value. For example, if I write something on Twitter, versus if a Virat Kohli is writing on a Twitter, for every tweet, he gets close to $2.5 million US for every tweet, and that tweet could be one word or a sentence. So if you want to increase your rate, you only increase it by ensuring that you are bringing value in that discussion. Are you there with me?
Yes.
So you may
Yes,
be doing
sir.
whatever you are doing. You may be into IT, you may be into sales, you may be into HR, you may be into any domain. So are you the only person in this world who is doing that? No. There are millions of people who do pretty much the same work. But how are you different? What is your brand? What is your promise? What is the expectation of the experience the person will have when he or she is benefiting from your services? Right. So that's how you. If you remember the reputation funnel that I spoke about, what comes into that? One of the input to the reputation funnel was competency. Yeah. So do you remember reputation funnel?
Yes, yes, very much.
Yes, I also
Yes.
remember.
So let me just check. What are the inputs to a reputation funnel? What is the throughput? And the output is reputation. So the output is your reputation. The throughput is your personal brand. And so this is where the processing happens. And what is getting processed? Your character, your values, and a very important word is your competency. Right. So, and what is competency? Prakriti? If competency is a tabletop, it stands on 3 legs. MBA student, come on. Any other management student on the call? Hello. Jago Mohan Pyare, Jago.
One can be the knowledge, application of the
Correct.
knowledge.
Very good. So knowledge is, let us say, the what part. Yes, I need to know the what part. Correct. Very nice. Skills, knowledge, and attitude is what Sanjay Bhai says. Okay, so when you apply the knowledge, it becomes skill, right? So what is skill? The how of it. Right. And the third word is not attitude, but it is called demonstrated behavior, that I also want to do it. I'm willing to do it. Many of us have knowledge in so many different areas. We have skills in so many different areas, but we don't necessarily demonstrate the skills that we have because we are reduced into our comfort zone. We don't expand out of our comfort zone. Right. So if you want to build your competency, you need to constantly build your knowledge, constantly build your skills, and then you need to apply those skills and show it to the world. And why need to show it? Because then you get response. You'll get that responsibility Responsibility is a combination of two words, response, ability. So when I'm demonstrating my ability to respond to external situations, external triggers, external stimulus, and my organization recognizes that ability to respond, only then will I get that responsibility. And unless I move up the curve on responsibility, I will stay where I am, right? And my economic value does not go up. Are you there with me? So you have to demonstrate that ability to respond, not react. What's the difference between responding and reacting? This is reacting. This is responding. Quick.
Reaction is an emotional response to a thing, while responding is thinking and then responding.
Who said this? What's your name?
Vraj, sir.
Vraj, very good, right? So 1 5-star from my side whenever I meet you next time. Fantastic answer, Vraj. Very nice. Very nice. So you should do more talking, Raj. So next session you will be the speaker, I will be the sub speaker. Very good. I like what Vraj says. So what is reacting? Reacting is letting the emotions get better of you. Reacting is succumbing to the situations and the circumstances, right? So you are making an emotional response. Situation आपके ऊपर भारी हो गई, and it is that strange force that allowed you to do something which you otherwise would not do in the normal course of life. So that is reacting. But what is responding? Sorry, Prakriti was saying something. I think so. I heard you say something.
Yeah, I was just saying the same thing, that reaction is response minus thought. It is impulsive. So you just do it without giving much thought to it.
So that is not impulsive. That is being impetuous.
Oh, yes.
It is good to be impulsive in a sense, but it is not good to be yeah, anyway, so those are too much of English for most of you, so forget it, right? So yeah, so you have to give it a thought. Yeah, so in simple words, give it a thought. Don't be impetuous. You know that word impetuosity?
Yes, yes.
Where is your
yes.
GRE and GMAT and TOEFL and IELTS preparation, boys and girls? You studied in English medium school. हम तो हिंदी medium school के बच्चे हैं. And वैसे हम भी स्कूल में टॉप आते थे. I was also an outstanding student in school.
I know.
I was always outstanding, and I used to come top from the bottom of the of the class. Yeah, so we made toppers like Prakriti possible. So हम दिलदार लोग हैं, you know. आप भी क्या जानोगे, को दिल वाले से आपका पाला पड़ा था. Yeah, so anyway, so learn this and write this down. While we got the answer to the word reaction, responding is acting basis values and principles, while reacting is acting basis emotions or circumstances or situations. So I always need to respond, right? And so when you learn to respond, when you take up higher responsibilities, that is when your rate goes up. So do you remember this equation? Income is equal to?
Rate into time.
Correct. So if you are, let us say, a coder, if you are into coding, there are million people who are doing coding. So why would someone give you more money? They'll say, okay, chodo. But let's say if you are getting married, you would go to the best possible showroom in the city and pick up the best possible outfit for yourself, because you see value in wearing that particular outfit, right? So in terms of cost and value, right? So you if you buy an electric bulb, you can buy an electric bulb for 20 rupees and you can buy an electric bulb for 200 rupees also. It does the same work. It gives you light. So are you looking at cost or are you looking at value? What would you look at? Some answers?
So
Sir, I
many
think
times it
both.
depends on situation also, as you
આપણે
explained.
પોલિટિશિયન નથી બનવાનું. આપણે સીધું સીધું આન્સર બતાવો ને મેડમ. પોલિટિકલી રાઈટ આપણે નથી બનવાનું મેડમ.
Best value
See,
for
we
the best
always
cost.
prefer for value.
Correct, right? So similarly, when you are offering your services, your customer, it could be an employer or it could be a customer in the sense, will give you value for monies, right? So if I'm adding value, they are not bothered about cost. But if we are like everyone else, they'll say, "Aapka bhav bahut zyada hai, so I'll buy it from someone else." Yeah, so hence, if you are wanting to buy a book, so before buying it from the bookstore, you will check it on Amazon. Amazon pe koi deal chal rahi hai, right? So for the same benefit, why should I pay more money? Are you there with me?
Yes.
So many of us today would check the product, how much is it available for on Amazon, and especially during the Great Indian Sale, or they have all these promotional activities where they push products and we get it at awesome rates. So for example, in this Great Indian Sale, I bought a geyser for one of my washrooms, and I bought a geyser which otherwise is 15,000 in the market. Because of this Great Indian Sale, I got it for 4,800. So for the same benefit, no one will give you more money. Always remember that. That is how you make more money. Otherwise, what is this? System 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me ask you a question. Raj, are you there, Raj?
Yes, sir.
So 2 2s are
4 as per mathematics.
okay. So what is this? Don't use your calculator. What is 76742 multiplied by 2167? So what you just responded, Vraj responded, others were thinking, and all of you would have thought 2 into 2 is 4. This is system 1 thinking. This is system 2 thinking. So there are a few activities that just happens like butter, and it is as easy for you as giving the answer 2 into 2 is 4. That is system 1 thinking. So what are those activities where you're able to do that activity, you're able to do that task as if you can do it in your sleep also. You don't have to stretch your mind. You don't have to put that effort. You don't have to, the insurance comes your claim.
Isn't being drawn to meaning you actually doing it, not just like thinking
Not
about it?
necessary. It could be, but not necessarily. So like I'm drawn to a lot of things when I look at some people doing like singing. I'm drawn to singing, but you don't want to listen to me when I sing. Because when I sing, you don't have the talent to recognize my talent.
Right.
Some of you will not get it. That is okay. Yeah. So I may be drawn to a particular activity, and I would not yet have the capability to do it. Are you there with me?
Yes, yes. So you need to
Yeah,
have
so
the skill set for it as well.
Absolutely. Right. So that is what we are talking about, right? So this is where you will be picking up those skill sets, because you are picking up the steps to learn it. It comes very naturally to you, right? And this is where once you start doing it, so this is where you are doing it. What is this?
A line
Correct. Very good. And what does this become now?
becomes the first quadrant, XY
Correct.
axis.
Or it is, if this is your y axis, this is your x axis. On the y axis, if I write support, and on the x axis, if I write direction. So do you need support to do activities, or do you need direction also to do activities? This is direction for the, by the way. So my drawing again is of international standard. So if this is high direction, this is low direction, this is high support, this is low support, what would be this quadrant? This quadrant is where we start. Whenever we are doing something new, I will need high direction. I don't need support right now because I'm learning. Are you there with me?
So support from whom?
Support from a mentor, from a coach, from a senior, from a boss, from a friend, from a colleague. For example, how many of you have learned to drive a car? Did you go to a driving school to learn a car?
Yes, I did, and I've forgotten also.
That is okay, right? So for those who have not, do you know how driving school teaches you how to drive? So you have someone who is there doing it for you.
એમનું કર્યા કરે અમારે એવું છે હવે તું ઇન્ક્વાયરી કરું છું એની સામે જ કરું મોબાઈલ જોઈન કરી દઉં તું
આપણે ભજન પછી થોડી વાર કરીશું.
Yeah, participants, please mute your microphone. Please mute.
Please mute your microphones, right? So
again, મગજ એમનું શાર્પ ને કે મારી હજી તો એક્ટિવાનો અવાજ આવ્યો ને પહેલા તો ટીવી
આશીષ અથવા નિરાલી તમે કોઈને મ્યુટ કરો.
Let me see if I can mute.
Done, sir. Mute कर दिया.
Okay, thank you, Ashish. Thank you. Right. So stage one is, again, I'm not getting too much into the details. Maybe we can talk about this at length at a later date. Right. So step one is I need direction and less of support, because of two words. I'll come back to that graph again. Do you know what is the meaning of the word commitment? And what is motivation? So do you need commitment to complete a work, and do you also need motivation to do something?
Both, sir.
Right. You need both, right? So let me make it more simple for you. Let me erase this for you. So let us look at this word, commitment. If commitment is a tabletop, it stands on two legs. What are the two legs on which commitment stands? The two legs on which commitment stands is my motivation to do it and my confidence to do it. So a combination of motivation and confidence will build my competency, will build my commitment. And the other word is competency that I have already shared with you. So I need to have the competence to do something, and I also need to have the commitment to do it. यहां तक आपको चीज समझ में आई?
Yes.
આવડત બી હોવી જોઈએ અને કમિટમેન્ટ બી હોવું જોઈએ. If I got that Gujarati right. Are you all with me?
Yes, Anand.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So coming back to that graph where I was talking about support and direction, and we were talking about the first quadrant where I need high direction and low support. At this stage, when I'm doing something new, when I'm learning, to be more precise, to do something new, what is there? My commitment is high, but my competence is low because वो मैंने अभी तक कभी किया नहीं. I have never done it before. Then I move to step 2. Step 2, what will happen is I will need high support. So what is happening? My commitment is there, but now my competency is increasing because I have spent some time doing that activity. Step 3 is where my requirement of support is high, but I would want the other person to reduce the direction because I'm moving from learning to doing. So step 1 and 2, the person is learning. Step 3 and 4 is where the person is doing. So step 4, the support gets low and the direction obviously is low at step 3. And this is where you delegate a work to someone. So this is the doing part. This is the learning part. So here I am learning. Here I am doing. Here it is just a perception. It is just an attraction. Are you all with me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Or is it too much on a Saturday evening? I think so. This is too much for a Saturday evening. Let me go fast. But I hope for those who are listening to me, I'm giving a great input. I wish someone told me what I just shared with you when I was 20 something. But anyways, a lot of parents make this mistake. They do not reduce their direction. They do not reduce the inputs where the child has moved from learning to doing. Hence the bacha says, Papa, હું કરી લઈશ, મને આવડે છે, મારા પર ભરોસો રાખો, હું કરીશ. બોલ 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 ના કરો. Sounds familiar?
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, so
Yes,
that is
sir.
what they don't.
And
That is
even
what-
I have a one-liner for this. You asked us now whether this is too much for a Saturday evening. So it is not. And for, the reason is a one-liner, which is I did not come this far just
Only
to come
to-
this far.
Wow, awesome. Very nice, very nice. So it was not too much, but 3 much for you. Maybe 4 much for you. There is a book titled 10 much. Anyone read that book 10 much?
No, but sounds
There's a book.
interesting.
There's a book titled 10 much by Rashmi Bansal, if I remember correctly. Anyways, right? So let's look at the 4th question, and we are on step 2 of the steps to build a personal brand. Now let's look at what activities give you a kick. This is not the kick of Salman Khan, but that shot in the arm, if you would want a different word, either while you're doing them or immediately after finishing them, and they say, oh, when can I get to do that again? So you're seeing how the needle is moving from learning to doing, and when you do it, you want to do it again, because one, you give brilliant performance, and you're looking forward for the next assignment where you will get to do what you want to do. This is where you move from good to great. This is where you are in your zone. This is where you are into a different league. And the more you do this, the more money people will give you because you are now adding value to it. Are you all still
Sir,
with me, or have I put you
sir,
off to
is
sleep?
it like a trigger, sir?
Yes, that's, you could say that. It's a trigger that, you know, you are looking forward to do it again. So if I throw the ball to a Jasprit Bumrah to bowl the last over, would he be excited to bowl the last over? Yes. But what if you give it to Ravindra Jadeja? He will have Akshar Patel in his mind. You saw what Akshar Patel did to him in the IPL,
Yes, sir.
right? So
Yes.
रविंद्र जडेजा को आपने बॉल दिया तो रविंद्र जडेजा क्या करेगा? भाई बुमराह तू आईने बॉलिंग करना भाई. Yes, so you would want to do it again and again and again, and that trigger is something that to put it in other words, you become a person who is now regarded as the go-to player. So when the captain is under pressure, when the work needs to be done, when the result is important, are you a go-to player? And if you are a go-to player, if you are the person whose name comes in the mind of your seniors, that this is a dirty job, this is a difficult job, and if there is one person who will get the job done more often than not, if your name is popping up in the mind of your seniors, you are on good ground. So are you creating value? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Now, once you create value, will the organization pay you more or less?
Yeah, then your rate increases.
Absolutely. And if your organization says, sorry, I will not give you, there is someone waiting for you. They'll say, you come over. Do you know a person called Vikram Pandit? Forget the name. Do you know a bank called Citibank?
Yes, sir.
Citibank is one of the largest banks in the world. Yes or no? Would you want to go and work there? So imagine you are being hired by Citibank and you get whatever salary you get. Would you also want a joining bonus? You know what is a joining bonus? Joining bonus is like you go to a birthday party and you don't go empty-handed. You will go and with some gift or at least some box of sweets saying that thank you for inviting me. I feel honored and you know this is a small gift, a token of love for accepting our offer. Do we do that?
Yes.
Where are the other people? They're all. Am I boring so much that people have been put to sleep? I don't know. I think so.
No, sir.
I'm
It's
boring
not
all
like
of
that, sir. But if we go to birthday
Correct,
party, we are
correct.
going with gift. But if we got the job, we are not going.
But would you
for
want the
that.
organization to give you a gift saying that, oh, Kirti madam, તમે અમારી offer accept કરી લીધી, અમે એટલા ખુશ છે, અમે તમને એક પ્રેમ ભેટ આપવા માંગીએ છીએ. Would you like that?
No, boss, it's not like that. But we are also not.
Would you
in
want some
that
joining
habit
bonus? Yes. Would you like to get some joining bonus? I would love to get some joining bonus.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? કે તમારે તમે અમારી ઓફર ને સ્વીકારી તો એને માન આપીને અમે તમને એક ભેટ આપીએ છીએ. તો વિક્રમ પંડિત in 2008, and listen to me and I'm being serious, in 2008 got an offer from Citibank to join them, and whatever salary he got, but as a joining bonus, how much money would you be happy if you get as a joining bonus? This is that gift that I'm talking about.
I want to say 1/4, but I somehow feel like he got
Give me a number.
1
Give
year.
me a number. 1 rupee, 10 lakhs, 1 lakh, 5 lakhs, 1,000, 2,000. Give me a figure.
1 lakh.
Okay.
3 months, 3 months salary, 6 months salary.
6 months salary. I'll pick up the larger of two, right? Higher of the two. So 6 months salary. If I give you 6 months salary, will you be very happy? So let's say if your salary is 120 rupees per annum, so I give you 60 rupees as joining bonus, just to give you a number. Will you be happy? Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. You know, how much did Citibank pay Vikram Pandit? $200 million US, which multiplied by 60, you can check the exchange rate. It was around 60 in 2008. That is 1,200 crores. Just because he accepted the offer to come and work for them. Welcome to the world where people will pay you money if you create value. Are you there with me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Do you
sir.
understand what is 1,200 crores?
Yes, sir.
This you will not get if you are on Netflix 24/7. This you will not get if you're on social media 24/7. This you will not get if you're gossiping all the time. This is not what will be given to you if you are in the surplus society. This is not going to come to you if you don't live a life of character. But there is someone who gets it. He or she did not waste time. Vikram Pandit, you can go and check it. So what do you want to do? Do you want to be in a class or do you want to be in a mass? And what are we doing? Check what you did on this Saturday. You got up at whatever time you got up and you logged on to this call at 6:30. From the time you got up in the morning till 6:30, मैंने सीखा क्या? मैंने किया क्या? That's how you build a brand for yourself. That is how people will say, please come and work for me. What do you want? And I can give you as many examples as you want, but this is how you reach that level. You have to work very hard. You need sweat to come down from all parts of your body before you enjoy the fruit of your labor. And if you want a one-liner, write this down. When I sweat in practice, I will bleed less in war. And today's youngsters are bleeding. The minute they're given some responsibilities, they're all exposed. Just wanting to make more money, you will never make more money. You need to work. You need to build your competence. You need to work on your commitment. You need to work on your motivation. You need to work on building your confidence. Because as I told you, motivation and confidence are the two pillars on which commitment stands. Knowledge, skills, and behavior are the three pillars on which competency stands. Are we building knowledge? I don't think so. What kind of books are we reading? We get so comfortable. પછી આપણે કહીએ ના મને તો છે ને શાંતિ ગમે. બહુ હાઈ શું કરવાનું આનંદભાઈ? એવું? Remember this sentence, skills pay bills. Are you there with me?
Yes, yes, sir.
So I may not be there today, but I want to be there tomorrow. I'll give an example before I move to the next point. Again, taking an example of cricket. And if you don't love cricket, sorry for that, but I'm just giving this to set the context and help you understand. Would RCB release Virat Kohli from the team?
No.
No, sir.
Would Mumbai Indians lose Rohit Sharma?
No, sir.
Why? But have you seen players like Yuvraj Singh? He would have played for practically all franchises. Have you seen players playing for one franchises this year, then the second franchise, then the third franchise? Have you seen people being hopping around in different franchises? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But do you
Parthiv
think
Patel.
Chennai Super Kings will leave Mahendra Singh Dhoni?
Never.
Or
Sir.
a Ravindra Jadeja? Or a Suresh Raina? No way. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because they bring value. A Virat Kohli brings value. Are you a Virat Kohli for your company? Or are you like one of the many players who just come and perform and then they fade away and they never seem to come back? Think of an Ajinkya Rahane, the vice captain of the Indian cricket team, did not get a chance to play all matches for Rajasthan Royals because he is not upping his game. You need to lift your game higher. You need to up the ante, as they say. This requires huge amount of hard work, massive amount of hard work.
Sir, Ajinkya Rahane plays for Delhi.
He did not play for, okay, plays for Delhi, correct. So, but he was a substitute for most of the matches. But he started with Rajasthan Royals. He started with Mumbai Indians, in fact.
Yes, sir.
And then he moved to Rajasthan Royals. Then he moved to Delhi. And look out IPL this year. Did he play all the 14 matches in the league? No. So if you have to choose between a Ben Stokes and Ajinkya Rahane, who would you choose?
Ben Stokes.
Correct. So am I a Ben Stokes for my team? If you had to choose between a Manish Pandey and a Virat Kohli, who would you choose?
Virat Kohli.
If you had to choose between Sanju Samson and Rishabh Pant, who would you pick up?
Sanju Samson.
So am I Sanju Samson for my team? That is what I'm trying to share with you. Are you all with me? But
Yes,
this
sir.
is tough work. This is tough work. It requires huge amount of discipline. And when we talk about discipline, we will have only 14 people in the call. What if this was a musical evening? 140 people would be on the call. 1,400 people would be on the call. 14,000 people would be on the call. Life is not about entertainment. This is not the age and time for entertainment. This is the age and time to learn. 3 inputs, all of you. And you will thank me after 20 years for giving this input to you. Write it down. Think what no one else is thinking. Do what no one else is doing. Read what no one else is reading. That's how you make a differentiated career for yourself. Think what no one else is thinking. Read what no one else is reading and do what no one else is doing. That's how you move out of that surplus society and create a niche for yourself. You create a value for yourself. अपना वजूद आप बनाएंगे, अपनी पहचान बनाएंगे आप. Are you there with me?
Yes, sir.
And this will lead to your next level, which is excellence. So we started with a perception that I'm drawn towards a particular activity, and then we move from that step to the next step, to the next step, to a step where now we are showing glimpses of excellence. When you hit that straight drive, wow, and you say, did I hit that straight drive? It was like music to the ears. It hit the sweet spot of the bat and the timing was just right. And you say, wow, that was good. Have you seen some players getting excited when they hit a shot? And they say, wow, that was good. And you can see that on their faces. You can read their body language. Have you seen some strokes like that? And you see that person enjoying. He or she would say, yeah, that was good. Do you get that feeling when you go to office? When you make a presentation? When you do whatever you're doing? Or do you go to office and say, oh no, not again. પાછું પેલાનું મોડું જોવાનું, પાછું આ કામ કરવાનું, શું કરવાનું? So you have resigned in your mind before you resign on paper. Yeah, so that is a very, very important, and that becomes your strength. So you start with talent and you end with strengths. I'll repeat what I said, and please write a note on this. You start with talent and you end with strengths, right? So when you ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What am I uniquely gifted at? And all of you under the sound of my voice, you are uniquely gifted in at least one thing, if not more. You can do something which no one else can do. But what are we doing right now? Chit-chatting, gossiping, Netflix, Amazon Prime. How much time on WhatsApp? Yeah. Next question. What would I happily stop doing because I will never be great at doing it? So give you an example. Can I learn technology like Ashish? Ashish is like magician when it comes to technology and creating all that. Even if I take out all my hair one by one, pluck it out, right, for the rest of my life, will I get anywhere close to Ashish? No way. So there are few things that is not my strength. So I compliment Ashish on something which is not his strength, and he would compliment me on something which is not my strength. That is how you collaborate together. Are you there with me?
Yes, sir.
I love the confidence in the yes. The yes was so much of energy in that yes. I know I'm boring all of you on a Saturday evening, but anyways, we are coming to the end of this time. We need to leverage our strength and staff our weaknesses. Most of you will not be in this position right now, but sometime in the future you will be. But I want one of you to explain this statement. Iska matlab kya hota hai?
Staff our weaknesses means delegating.
Or in other words, you hire someone who has strength in your area of weakness. Do you know Jack Ma?
Yes.
Right, and if you hear him or read what he has written, he always says, my job is to get 11 of the best players in the world who are better than me, brighter than me, sharper than me, and create an ecosystem where they excel, and that's how companies grow. So many of you, when you grow up to people who will recruit teams for your company, when you will have the responsibility of bringing people on board, remember, don't bring people on board who have similar strengths. Bring people who are better than you. Have you ever seen a flock of birds flying together?
Yes.
And what is the shape they form?
V.
V.
Have you seen that if this is the V, if let's say I am the leader, I don't stay the leader for always. I will keep on changing roles. So after some time, you will see the next bird taking the role of a leadership role. And then you will see another bird becoming a leader, and then another bird becoming a leader. Remember, a leader is also a great follower. So I cannot lead on everything. Yes, I can lead on one project, but I cannot lead on all projects. So I'll allow Ashish to lead a project and I'll follow him. I'll allow Prakriti to lead and I'll follow him. I'll allow Shyam to lead and I'll follow him. And then there will be times when I am leading and they follow me. Companies fail because they recruit people who are not as smart as them because they feel that fear that they are a threat to me. No, they are not a threat to you. Have you met some people who do not coach, teach, train their employees, fearing that ye mere se aage nikal jayega? This is the famous corporate politics, right? So You always leverage your strength, and in the future आपकी जो weakness है accept करो कि ये मैं I'm not very good in this particular area. I would want someone else to do that job. Yeah, so that is a great statement. And coming back to that alignment, Prakriti, that we started this, I need to align my passion, purpose, and perseverance. And in order, I think so purpose comes first, passion follows, perseverance, and then if I can add one word, that would be performance. So that is step 2. And as I close, and maybe we will come again next Saturday for step number 3. Step number 3 is, how do you reinvent yourself? How do you?
Reinvent.
And I will talk about 2 of my famous and favorite celebrities. Some of you may not know, but he is Amitabh Bachchan and he is Shashi Kapoor, the superstars of the 70s and the 80s. How did Bachchan Saab reinvent himself, and what Shashi Kapoor failed to do? And that is what we will cover in the next module, where we will learn the 3rd step, which is reinventing yourself. So we start on time and we end on time. Any questions that you may have for me?
Just one. Reinvent.